Hey, book lovers, welcome back to Shelf Addiction, the podcast where we dive deep into the thriller and fantasy reads that you love. I am your host, Tamara, and today we are breaking down our March Buddy Read title. If you want the full experience with zero ads, head on over to our Patreon for video episodes, after shows, and bonus content. Access those same exclusive after shows and extras right on Spotify. For more bookish banter, join our community on the Book Clubs app, and please subscribe and leave a review wherever you're listening. As always, with our book chats, we'll be talking full spoilers today, so spoiler alert, you've been warned. Now, I am thrilled to welcome back my partner in literary crime, Classy, from the Bookish Virtual Assistant. Welcome back, Classy.
Hey, Tambra. How are you, lady?
Girl, I'm hanging on.
Yes. By a thread, or are you hanging in there?
Look, both. How about you?
I think I'm going to be right there with you.
Okay, this book almost put me on the edge, too. Okay, so.
Yeah.
Are you ready to dive into this one?
I am.
Okay. Y'all, you want to be around for this one. It's going to be one not to miss. I really feel that in my bones. Okay, so today we are discussing the book Anatomy of an Alibi, written by Ashley Elston. The audiobook is narrated by McLeod Andrews, Saskia Merveld, Amanda Stribling, and Dan Bittner. Published on January 13th, 2026 by Pamela Dorman Books and Penguin Audio. The hardcover is 340 pages, and the unabridged audio is 9 hours and 39 minutes. Classy, would you kindly share the synopsis?
Absolutely. 2 women, 1 dead husband, and only 1 alibi. Okay, I'll stop. Everyone at Chantilly's bar noticed out-of-towner Camille Bayliss, red lips, designer heels, sipping on a Negroni. But that woman wasn't Camille Bayliss. It was Aubrey Price. Camille Bayliss appears to have the picture-perfect life. She's married to hotshot lawyer Ben and is the daughter of a wealthy Louisiana family. Only nothing is as it seems. Camille believes Ben has been hiding dirty secrets for years, but she can't find proof because he tracks her every move. Aubrey Price has been haunted by the terrible night that changed her life a decade ago, and she's convinced Benjamin Bayliss knows something about it. Living in a house full of criminals, Aubrey understands there's more than one way to get to the truth, and she may have found the best way in. Aubrey and Camille hatch a plan. It sounds simple. For 12 hours, Aubrey will take Camille's place. Camille will spy on Ben, and then the 2 women will get the answers they desperately seek. Except the next morning, Ben is found murdered. And both women need an airtight alibi, but only one of them has it. And one false step is all it takes for everything to come undone.
Okay, so first let me just say, I think that's a pretty good in general synopsis, but it's a little misleading as well.
Okay.
Just a little bit, I think.
I want you to dive into that. I know we usually go high level how you felt afterwards, but I want you to dive into that.
So literally, this synopsis is almost this entire one scene, almost like one chapter, which is fine. I know they don't want to give it away or anything, but it's like 1 dead husband and 2 women and 1 alibi. But ma'am, it's only one person needs to really be concerned with the alibi, not both of them. Not really. It's kind of like, it kind of felt, that's just my 2 cents. I'm like, it's just one of them in there that needs to be concerned with the alibi. The other one is an outlier, but not because she's in danger of going to jail for murder. She wasn't even there. I don't know. That's just my...
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Right. Because only one needed to be the person's alibi.
Mm-hmm.
Proof.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's very
And
true.
these two women, oh my God. Okay, so high level, let's back up high level. What'd you think when you've concluded the book?
I couldn't get finished with this book soon enough, but I felt like this book was a cluster of police procedurals that was so unnecessary. I felt like it was just too much and boring.
It was boring.
They did all of this, the tactics of, like they wanted to be so meticulous, and I felt like it was going nowhere. I'm like, okay, so now you gave me all of this, then what? And like, I enjoyed the before the Alibi and after the Alibi, but I felt like it was a fast train going nowhere, and it wasn't even fast. You know what? I'll take that back because it wasn't fast. It was slow as fuck, and boring. Um, but it was just, just a bunch of information that led to nothing. And even in the end, I felt like, huh? Like, really? He did it?
There were a couple of plot twists in there. Some were easy to call out early on, and others was like, what was that about? Like,
Yeah.
that didn't even make any damn sense. Like, the author just threw it in there at the end.
Yeah. Because I don't even remember the one guy. I'm like, when was he mentioned? Briefly? Sullivan?
Yeah. I don't know. I was like, who?
Yeah. Because I did a rewind and I was like,
yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
And only way we remember is because she took us back.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, he was not even a blip on my radar.
Right.
She provided all these characters, and that dude. Mm-mm.
Yeah, and he was the uncle, not the
nephew
of what's
the
that
detective,
other guy's name?
Foster.
Foster, yeah. It was like, what? And so
Yeah.
you got him doing what? For what? Okay.
Yeah.
I guess. So when I finished it, okay, so let me just say I started this, so it's Tuesday when we're recording this. I started this on Saturday. So I started Saturday morning and I read a little bit, listened. I'm like, I got other stuff to do. I'll come back to it. I said, I still got more than enough time. So I started and I wasn't really impressed. I'm like, ugh. So I came back on Sunday night. I'm like, I had something to do all day. And then I'm like, oh shit, okay, it's 8:00. Let me hop on this. And I read maybe a couple hours worth and I was like so bored. I'm like, I gotta watch TV. So I turned it off. And then Monday came, I said, fuck, I have like 2 days to get like
I gotta
7 hours done, like 6.5 hours done. I said, okay, if I split it, I can do 3 or 4 hours today and I can finish the last bit on Tuesday morning. I can sprint it to the finish. So Monday comes, I attempt to do that. I do listen for like a solid 3-hour block after dinner on Monday night. I wake up this morning and I have like 2 hours and 45 minutes left. I'm like, motherfucker. Okay, I can do this. So I woke up at 6:00 and I said, I don't have to start work until 8. I will listen for 2 hours.
Oh, you're
I start listening. I fell back asleep. I woke up at 7:00 like, oh no.
Ma'am, that says a lot.
So I'm like, okay, wait, what did I miss? So I tried to go back and I couldn't figure out exactly where I was. I was like, oh, well, fuck it. This sounds right. So I don't even know exactly.
See, that's a sign that the book is not that great when you say, oh, well, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
You've missed a chunk of something.
Oh,
and you're just like,
I just couldn't figure out if I was on Camille this chapter or Camille that chapter. I said, okay, this is close enough. I think this was the time when I fell asleep.
Right.
So anyway, I finished listening through my lunch and while I was doing stuff, I was just listening like off and on the whole day. And I finished around like 2:00. I was like, thank God. So after I was done with that, I was like, oh my God, that was horrible.
It was. It was just like
Yeah.
information overload, and it didn't really give us any. It didn't like help us unravel anything on this story. It was a lot of repetition. I don't know if you felt like that too. I mean, granted, she said it in different ways, but it's just like, okay. And which
Yeah.
is probably why you could miss a few chapters and you really didn't miss anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, both of these women were utterly boring, which is like part of the problem. And I understand, like, okay, so Camille, comes from a wealthy family and she just wants to get away from her husband who's turned bad because, we find out later why that is. But,
Yeah.
and then Aubrey wants to find out what happened to her parents. And she also wants to investigate what the guy who went to jail is saying, because he's saying, I was framed, I didn't really do it.
Yeah.
So she's kind of got it, like, on the surface, it sounds like it has the correct ingredients.
Mm-hmm. It does. Yeah.
But it just didn't deliver. It was so slow. Like when you were, like when I text you, I was like, I do not want to tell her this book is bad. But but I was like,
No, but like you were like we talked about like
yeah.
at the beginning, it was like it had all the ingredients to possibly be a good book.
Yeah.
Like, but then it slowly begins, you realize, yeah.
It's just
So
so
wait, so when
slow.
you say you didn't want to tell me this book is bad, when did you not want to say that?
Okay, from the
With the first
beginning, I
text
said
message?
I was gonna wait and see if you said anything. And
Yeah, because I
then
think you did. Were like, I think I fell asleep, or wait, not fell asleep. Did you? What did you? Let me see.
wait, I waited until you said you were on chapter 15, and then you said you think you know who did it. And I was like, okay, well, tell me who you think it is. I'm not gonna say if you're right.
Yes.
But you did guess it, and I said, oh yeah, I guessed that early too. But then I said, I'm just gonna say it. I ain't like the book. I mean, it was boring AF. I just didn't want to because you weren't done yet. So I didn't want to be like,
girl, but you know what though? I will say this with us, and I'll just speak for myself, and then you could tell me if you feel this way or you don't. A lot of people like to judge a book on the end and say, oh my God, wait to the end. Oh my God, it changed my mind because of the end. I might give you like maybe a half of a point up with the rating because of the ending, but an ending is not going to make me just love this book. You have got to give me some substance for the book, the majority of the book. I totally get it that the beginning of a book will be slow. I get that because of laying the groundwork, or, like with a fantasy book, you're building your world building, you're setting the like Sophia from Golden Girls. Picture this,
Yeah.
You got to tell the story. But there's a certain percentage, like, get to land this fucking plane, land the plane. Or at least get me out of turbulence, get me up into the sky, where I can get comfortable and I'm like, ooh. But don't get me up into the fucking sky and then drop me at the damn airport and say, we're here. Did you like that flight? I don't know if that was a good explanation or not.
There is nothing
but that's
I
how
hate more than feel that dropping out the sky feeling when the tires hit the ground. You be like, oh my God. What was that?
So don't try and say, oh my God, the twist. Just wait to the end. No. You need, look.
Especially if it's disjointed and doesn't make sense.
You need to titillate me the whole, okay, at least
half the book. Don't
titillate me for 25%. And then the 25% you're giving me is at 75%. Oh, no.
Yeah.
No. I feel like this is a romance, like the way I'm describing this. You're a poor lover. How dare you how dare you do that to me?
For time spent on this book, you
don't
want to be played.
It was 9 fucking hours.
Yeah, you don't be played dirty. That's how I feel. I was kind of played, and I should have known. Like, so we did read First Lie Wins.
Mm-hmm.
And if I remember correctly, I know I gave it a 4. Do you remember what you gave it?
I gave it a 4 too.
So I don't know. I should have known. Like that, lightning can't strike twice. You know what I mean? It so rarely does.
And I think that was her first mystery book, because I think she originally wrote
like
YA.
Romance? Oh, YA, okay.
If it wasn't YA, it was romance. And this was her, and First Lie Wins was her first mystery novel, I believe.
Yeah.
But we tried. But yeah, it was just a bunch of, like, she just gave us all this information and it was predictable.
You know who this read like to me? Laura Dave. Her shit was tired and boring.
Oh.
It reminded me of that.
The last thing you told me?
Yes, that's what it reminded me of. I'm like, am I supposed to be excited about what's going on? Am I supposed to be thrilled? Am I supposed to be?
Girl, it was like a terrible TV series.
That pacing was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. And you know what? How much you want to bet somebody's going to get this and make it a damn TV series? Because, like it could, because it's fucking slow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it could happen.
It was. Mm-hmm. It was so easy to solve. Well, I'll just say this. The easy to solve was that first twist of who killed her parents.
So let's talk about that for 2 seconds. So right when we get the scene of them coming to Ben's house when they're teenagers, and what's his face is drunk, and she's kind of dragging him in, and they originally Silas, when Silas is drunk and he's almost passed out, and they're like, oh shit, Ben's like, let me call your dad. The minute they showed up, I said she was driving. The minute he couldn't remember, he's like, was I driving? He's like, were you driving? He's like, I said she was driving. Duh.
Mm-hmm.
It happened so quick. I didn't even think twice. Like, it was instant to me.
Yeah.
That was the case.
And here's my revelation on I knew who it was, because she kept throwing at us that Ben and Margaret were on the bad side of the tracks, that they were basically white trash compared to Silas and Camille. And I was like, ooh, because prior to that storyline, we had already known that Everett, or whatever, that's the name of the family, Randall, the dad, was not that fond of Ben and Margaret either. So I was just like, This makes for the perfect bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
The people from the wrong side of the tracks.
Mm-hmm.
So that like those are those two things. I was like, because they kept saying, yeah, we were poor and we didn't have money. And I was like, Ben, you were poor. Because I think she had mentioned in the story that Camille and him used to talk about, we're going to do this, this, and that. We were 19 years old and we were broke and we didn't have money. And I was like, you were broke.
Mm-hmm.
Camille was never broke. As long as she had daddy, she was never broke.
And to be
Sir?
honest, Ben was annoying AF when we got
Oh
his
my
points of view
God. Oh my God.
because he was so jealous of his wife. Like,
Mm-hmm.
even when they were dating and they were teenagers, he was jealous. She was off on vacation taking food pictures.
I know.
And he could not stand it.
No.
He could
No.
not take it at all.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
And then we
He called
never
her
found out why the fuck he was even tracking her like that.
I know. Right. It wasn't purposeful. And it really wasn't. He tracks my every
Like,
move. For what?
Why? Yeah.
Because,
And
I
she even
mean, like
asked,
he
like,
said,
what were you looking to find? He didn't even answer. I'm like, you
no.
got pose the
Even in the
question.
story, there was no reasoning
No.
behind it because he said she was clueless
Yeah.
about anything. She lived this little privileged life and didn't really care. So why are you following her? I
Right.
could see if you thought that she possibly thought that she knew that you were dirty,
Mm-hmm.
but you didn't even know that. You didn't
Mm-hmm.
even know that. You were just an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
So, that part, like, and those are those inconsistencies in the story, like you're giving all this word vomit and it doesn't make sense. He's tracking her whereabouts for what?
Yeah, there's no reason. So
No.
that is a storyline that kind of went nowhere.
Yeah.
So that whole swap places with me, use my credit cards, wear this wig, what was the point of that? Because he even at one point, like, so we know that what's the point of him following her for tracking her number one? We needed that information to even know why they were going to those extremes.
Mm-hmm.
And we never got that. Number two, it was so fucking stupid. He figures it out with nothing that she was lying in the house. That scene was so stupid. I'm like, what the? This
Yeah.
dumb girl using her iPad with the locator on in her
So
own
dumb.
I could not relate to this girl.
I
not
don't
even a
know
little
what
bit.
was worse, that part or the last book we read when the girl said, I didn't know fish bled.
They're both very dumb. Very dumb. And I'm like,
Very.
if you're so cautious, you check cross all the T's and dots all the I's, and then you go use an iPad? That is the dumbest thing I ever seen.
Girl. I
couldn't get with it. So
no. And the trustworthiness that you had in a stranger that you just met at a fucking bar. You give her your car and you just think, I'll keep my phone locked and she can't text message. She got your car. Honey child. I'm just like, oh God, it couldn't be me.
No.
I
No, these
But you know what?
characters.
Sometimes I wonder and I'm like, maybe I just don't trust people enough because I'm just like, this is not believable. And I know there's a lot of times where people say story, they'll read a story and, you have people will say, I just couldn't get into this book because it's not relatable. And I'll say the non-relatability here for me is, and I'm not even saying money. It's just the unbelievability of how you just met this girl. And just because she said, I'm not having an affair with your husband.
Okay. You're just going, yeah. Okay.
And then I give you my car and my credit card.
Yeah.
I'm just like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. I think, we always have to try our best to suspend disbelief, which is what we do. But sometimes it's just so ridiculous. It's so far past the line that I just cannot believe that a character would be that dumb. Like, make it make sense. So
that part.
The clear lack of motivations for almost all of these characters, I could not really connect or understand or even feel like I knew them at all because there were no motivations. Even like, what is the real mystery? Because to us, it was obvious.
Mhm.
That's not a mystery for the reader if we're able to figure it out without any trouble at all.
Here's the other thing, like, when I started, because I think we were only, like, wait, when I was at chapter, wait, I'm gonna look at my messages really quick. I was at chapter 15 and I was like, "Oh, I think I know who it is." But I kinda knew, I felt like I knew, like, back in chapter 7.
Mhm.
And then, like, when I start reading books and I'm like, "I think I already figured it out."
Mhm.
I hate that feeling as a reader, because it's like, "Oh my god, am I that person?" Like, because you just wanna enjoy the story,
Mhm.
but then my mind is just like, it automatically goes to these little clues, and it's like
Mhm.
and it's like, okay. Then I try and step out of my, I take off that mystery hat, that mystery reader hat, because you know how sometimes you just like, you wanna solve the mystery without, I mean, you want hold on, you wanna enjoy the story without solving the mystery, and that's what I felt like. I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna step back because I wanna at least enjoy the story," and the more I got into the story, I'm just like, that don't make sense. That was
Mhm.
dumb."
Mhm.
And then you're like, "Okay, maybe I'm too judgmental. I'm gonna
Mhm.
step back again," and then it happened again.
Mm.
And sometimes I feel like I'm like, "Do I need to find a new genre?" Because I
Mhm.
feel like sometimes they're like, we've read so many books in this genre, it's like, can somebody just please step up and surprise the hell out of me?
See, I think the thing is, a lot of authors are not good at show and not tell. They don't
Mm,
know how to craft the story in a way that makes us intrigued and question without being obvious and just telling us like we're a bunch of idiots.
yeah.
So it's harder for these authors to impress us because we've read so much in this genre, but
Mhm.
it means they need to be a little more skilled for the readers that are not, reading popcorn books,
Yeah.
and we need a little bit more to feel invested in the book. Um,
Yeah.
so I don't
Bec
think it's a us problem. I think it's the book's problem.
Yeah, the writer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because the thing is like, there's so many stories, and I've heard other authors say that, "Oh, I don't wanna write that story because it's been told already before." And then you'll have the one author say, "Yeah, but has it been told from your point of view?" You know what I mean? Like, you could tell this same kind of story, but from
Mhm.
your point of view with a different twist on it. And I agree with you that I feel like some of these newer stories, um, the creativity and the, like you were saying, the show and not, or they want to show us and not really tell us the story, or the ingenuity of you telling your story in a
Mhm.
different way, um, is not there. Like, all this information that she gave us could have been left out. I won't say all of it, but just some of it. It was minutia, it was word vomit, and it didn't add to this story. Like, we constantly, the death of Aubrey's parents. And here was another part, like, I felt guilty about, because I was just like, because I don't ever want to minimize the death of anybody's family. But I was just like, oh God, here we go again. We're gonna hear about this girl's parents. Oh my God. Here we go.
Mhm.
How many more times are we gonna hear about this?
Mhm. Yeah. And okay, so for me on a different note, I think that the themes that the author chose to use, like, you talked about like the poor versus the rich, they're so blah. They're so overly used, like overbearing protective men rich, don't pay attention, little lady, go shopping while I
Mm-hmm.
handle the business.
Yeah.
And this woman was really almost helpless. Like, her parents took the
Yeah.
husband's side over her. I cannot stand that. Like, what
Yeah.
is this? And then, like, of course, the
But we
right,
get it. We understand why,
but
because
it's so the typical, it's
mm-hmm.
nothing different.
Yeah.
The right,
Yeah.
wrong side of town, rich versus poor,
Mm-hmm.
like those
Those little
things.
themes, yeah.
They're very familiar and
Wealthy families who try to,
but
get their way.
there was, like you said, where's your twist on it? There was no twist on it. It's just the same.
Right. Which is when you mentioned that, that's exactly why I immediately went to Margaret being the driver. Because
Mhm.
here you have these wealthy families who are going to, that they're always on a pedestal.
Mhm.
So, yeah,
Not
working with the police to get, the police were in their pockets. And
again,
then,
can't
and
trust
then Ben,
county ever. Ever.
and then, and then Ben just happens to go into law.
Yeah.
And guess what? For you to be successful, you got to keep that lie.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
of
And it
course, they're
really,
rich, but they're gangsters, so they're bad rich people on top of it.
yeah. And it wasn't, and I felt like too with this story, it really wasn't about the murder. It really wasn't about the murder of Ben or the parents.
Yeah.
It was more about the lies that were being told.
Mhm.
Um, so like you were saying earlier, what was the mystery,
Mhm.
really? I mean, granted, they tried to make it like a mystery, like who killed her parents and who killed Ben. But it really wasn't about that. It was about all the cover-ups.
Mhm.
It was more about the cover-ups.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was more important because the way that Ben's murder got offhanded solved at the end.
Girl, poor little Ben was like pushed to the side.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, that guy. We gotta
Oh
tell
yeah,
what
I
happened to
forgot.
him.
Somebody killed Ben. Oh
Right.
yeah.
Oh yeah. That was how the book started. I guess that's how we should end it. Let's figure out what we gonna say about him.
And let's go find somebody to, because Foster's dead. He couldn't have done it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Who
Yeah.
else could do it? That makes sense. Nobody. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah. I know.
Okay, let's take a quick commercial break.
Yeah.
By listening to these commercials, you are supporting the podcast. Don't forget to click around, follow us, do all the things, subscribe, leave us a review. And when we come back, we will finish our conversation. We'll talk a little bit about the audiobook and we will rate it. So you don't want to miss that. And we'll be right back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, welcome back. Okay, what else?
What else to talk about? Because we talked about power, gender,
So
the
what I'd like to
weakness of the
talk about
females.
is
Yeah.
the sometimes, and we've read Leanne Moriarty. We've read several books by her, and she's one that's known for having a big cast of characters.
Oh gosh, yes.
Sometimes too much is just too much.
Yeah.
And I think in this book, there were too many storytellers. There are too many points of view.
You're right.
And that made the water murky, and not in a good way.
Yeah, because I felt like one point of view I could have not used.
I mean, did we need Ben
I
at
mean,
all?
not Ben, Hank.
Yeah, Hank, did we really need him? Did we really need Ben? Ben had a couple chapters. I think he had like 2 chapters or something.
Yeah. No, I don't think we needed the men at all. Yeah. I don't think we need the men at all. It was just too many between their points of view. And like you said, just too many characters. Like, because I was writing down characters at the beginning. I was like, ooh, Eddie, like the chop shop guys. Because I felt like they were going to be integral parts of the story. Yeah, Eddie, you had Deacon. all of her housemates. And I was like, what the hell?
So let's see. Ben had chapters 28 and 39 and 21. So Ben had 3 chapters. Hank had a good amount. Hank had equal chapters. It's like it rotated Aubrey, Hank, Camille. Aubrey, Hank, Camille. Almost
Hmm.
in that order
Yeah.
consistently. And you're right. We wouldn't have missed Hank because and I also kind of really hated that Hank had a crush
I
on
know.
Camille. I'm like,
I
get
was
the
like,
fuck out
what
of
was that
here.
for?
Why?
What was that
Why?
for?
Why are we doing this?
Yeah. It
Um,
was so unnecessary.
it was very unnecessary. And I don't know. There was just it was just something about it. And all these narrators, we didn't need either. I could barely tell the two apart at times. I'm like, they
Yeah.
sound similar to me.
Yeah. And then the part, and now that you say that too about the point of view, Hank's storyline of of because she tried to throw that in there that he could have possibly killed Ben because Ben wanted him didn't want to be he was trying to dissolve their relationship, and then that ended. That was it was a blip. For a long time it was like, yeah, he had wrote up this proposal to end our contract and blah 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 blah, and like, okay, where did that go?
Well, there was one throwaway line. I don't know who said it. Maybe it was the brother who said it.
Oh
Oh, he
yeah, he
tried to
mentioned
turn
because he
you.
thought you were going to be too dirty.
Yeah, he
But
would help you. You would help him with his dirt, and you turned out to be a good guy. So he wanted to just get rid of, offload you and find somebody else.
I know, and here's my face when I read that.
Yeah,
Really, that's what you came up with, ma'am. That's
that's
what you
the
came up with,
reason.
Ashley.
If
Really?
anything, you would want to keep the legitimate side of your business.
Right, because according to the the way this story was going, and correct me if I'm wrong, because there were some points. I'm just gonna be honest that I tuned out, and I was just like, "Do, do, 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 do."
Hmm.
But if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it kind of stated that he was trying to get from under the thumb of his
Yes, which is
father-in-law?
weird. Yes, they kept saying that because Camille kept saying that their agreement was they were going to try to get from away from her parents.
Yeah. So
But
why not keep the good guy on your payroll?
yeah, and he never. I think that was a lie. He never really intended to do that at all, unless he was just so rich he didn't need the father-in-law
Not
for
anymore,
anything anymore. He
girl.
wanted to get super wealthy as him, which he stated at some point.
Yeah, he did.
Then he would let it go. But until that happened, no. And I'm like, so even the part where Camille starts talking about how Ben had their whole life planned without her permission, I'm like, what the fuck? And then we read these old, in the past, I'm like, he doesn't seem like that then. So like
Mm,
he just
yeah.
fell into your family after doing a favor for your dirty father. And then his personality, whole ass personality changed after that.
Yeah, because I bookmark at the beginning, when she was watching him and she was like, he won the genetics lottery. He's beautiful, this, and that. But then he has two different personalities. I wonder which Ben I'm going to see now. And that's when I was like, ooh, so he's dual personality. And it
Hmm.
really wasn't. I mean, I felt like I didn't really get that for him as far
No.
as like a dual personality. He felt like he was the same asshole across the board. Um, I mean, he was a lawyer. He could put on, a happy face like he did when the chop shop people came in. But there wasn't anything where in this story where they were like, he was this upstanding guy and he was a pillar of the community and blah, 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 blah. No,
Hmm.
he had the same, like once he made that decision to cover up for Silas, I felt like he, from what we were told, he was the same throughout the story.
Yeah, the only difference is maybe he was more naive in the early days. He didn't know what
Yeah,
was
he was
gonna be
young.
expected of him.
Right.
So maybe he didn't foresee that exactly, but all he could think about when he was young was the one-up he would get from it.
Mhm.
"Hey, my mom's gonna be able to get this and do that." He was thinking about, like, checks and balances, like, "What can I
Mhm.
get?"
Yeah.
And not thinking about long term, but I'm sure it seems like he would be the kinda guy that fell into that real easy. He had no problem
Yes.
lying.
Exactly. I mean, you even mentioned, like, he was jealous of Camille.
Mhm,
It wasn't like, "Oh, I loved her so much and this, and that." I don't I will do this, to be I'll do this if I have to protect her and get into the no.
mhm,
He was like, "Oh, advantage."
mhm,
So, yeah, it that part, like, he wasn't. He was the same character. Yeah, he was not this pillar of the community, and not to say that he was portrayed that way, but I just felt but when she made that comment, "I wonder which Ben I'm going to see."
mhm.
Girl,
I know.
he was the same. The only difference was, as she described, his hair was curly
Mhm,
without the gel, and he had scruff. That was it. Those were the
mhm.
only differences that you saw, is that when he wasn't lawyer Ben, his looks were different, but personality-wise, because at first I was just like, "Oh my god, we're gonna see this switch." Did you see a switch? I mean, we
No,
didn't see a whole lot.
the only part that seemed out of character, and I think the author was trying to hype up that scene, is when he found out that his wife was spying on him and there were cameras in the house.
Girl, yeah, that part.
She was trying to make it seem like he might do something to her,
I
maybe,
know.
but
That was so unbelievable. I'm
yeah.
sorry. 'Cause
W
even she said, "He's never been violent, but oh my god, you damn right he's gonna turn." All of a sudden, he see you fucking fall out the sky
Yeah.
with cameras, like, what the I'm sorry.
That whole scene, I kinda was, like, chuckling. I'm like, "And her dumb ass just gonna take him to all the cameras like a fucking idiot." I'm like, "Who does that?" Camille is so
And this is
stupid.
again and you know what? And this is again the way Ashley wrote these characters. She wrote these female characters as being so naive and incompetent. And I was like, really? This is how we're gonna write these women?
All she had to do was say, "I thought you was having an affair and I was trying to catch you." End of story. And he would have
Yeah,
been like he would have backed off because he wouldn't have thought of anything else. And that's
yeah,
originally what she went out there for. She
yeah.
could have easily said that, and it would have made so much sense and seemed like a smart thing to say. But
Right.
instead, she, like, crumbles. It just starts showing him where all the cameras are. I'm like, "Wow."
I ain't showing you shit.
Right. If you think
I
they're
might
more,
show
you
you
find
one
them.
camera.
Yeah. The one that's right in your face, and I can't hide because I was watching you on it. That one. That's the only one.
Yeah. Are they
If you
backed up to the cloud? Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Prove it. Go find them.
Oh,
Here's
God.
one. It's one right in the front, and there's one right there. And I was like, okay, see. And then I was just like, okay, Classy. And then I felt like you, where I was like, you would say, I'm not that dumb. I would never do this. And I was like, oh God,
Yep.
am I being that? But
Yes.
this right here, I was
It
just
was
like,
bad.
honey child, you've been in the attic for how long? Possibly gonna have to use a bucket. As soon as you fall out, you lose everything that you
Right.
just plotted and planned for?
Exactly. And if she knows he is nonviolent, she had the upper hand. Just lie to the man and be like, she has no backbone at all. You know you can
And he
manipulate
knew
that
it.
man.
Mhm.
Mm. That was so ridiculous.
It was.
So these characters were flat and boring. They acted boring
And you know what, too?
and
I felt like they
predictable.
were so convenient for like, here the rich woman who's just, so pampered. You know what I'll do is I'll just buy you a hotel and you could just go chill out while I'm here. But I felt like where she could have possibly did better was with Aubrey's character. She could have wrote her a little stronger. I felt like she was a little strong, but she was only strong because of Deacon.
She was
like she
strong in
couldn't.
comparison, but
She was. But the thing was, is like Deacon kind of helped her with these decisions. But I'm just like, here you have this young lady who's working at the bar, waitress. I felt like she could have been a much stronger character. I think she could have took a little better charge as far as character development with her.
mhm.
But more or
She
less
was
it
still
was,
helpless. Think about it.
yeah, and
Think
she
about it.
was.
Deacon helped her with everything. These women
Right.
were dumb. Like,
Yeah,
you
and I
can't do
felt
anything.
without these men, and I felt like Ashley could have, if nothing else, she could have made Aubrey a stronger character, because here this woman is trying to figure out who the heck killed my parents.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait a minute. This woman just came to me thinking I'm sleeping with her husband. And then when we find out, holy cow, the connection is Paul Granger, the guy who killed my, like all of a sudden she goes into this strong mode of, I'm going to do this, this, and that. But instead it's kowtow, or however they say that term, that, here she's got to rely on her criminal roommates.
Who
And
she actually turns out to have a crush on.
girl, that
I
part
was
too.
like, okay. And then like he's been
Is this
taking
turned
care
into
of her.
romantic
Right.
suspense?
Again, he's been taking care of me by giving me extra laundry pods and giving me food.
And then we're sleeping together and cuddling and loving and kissing and hugging and kissing.
Oh my God. I'm like, girl.
I'm like, what in the heck
hell?
what has this story turned into?
It turned into a romantic suspense on the side.
Girl. I was like, she tried to do a legal thriller here with all this procedural stuff, and then we get into this romantic suspense. 2 little love stories. I'm so glad we didn't have a freaking happy, well, it was kind of like a happy ending, but I was just like, oh my God.
And of
Please,
course, he
don't
rescues her in the end. And, they agree to tell a big lie, another lie to get him out of it.
Yeah, now they're going to be tied together. And now another alibi.
Yeah. There's someone else's alibi now. Oh my God.
Dun, dun, dun.
No.
I was, girl, that, and then I was
cute.
like, are you kidding me?
Not cute. Yeah.
I was like,
that was the end. I seriously, at the end of that, I did rewind it a minute. I said, wait, that was the end? I said, wait, let me go back. I said,
you know what I thought of when I read this, the end, when I got to the end, I was like, ooh, Ashley got a nice advance for a second book. And probably was like, oop, gotta hit that deadline.
Well, I'm not reading it.
That third one, if she got a 3-book, no,
I don't think so.
Yeah,
because this was so boring to me. It was so boring. And it's like, yeah, when you talk about it, of course, we're laughing and teeing because the stuff is funny now, but the experience of reading it was not enjoyable. And that's what's the most important part.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was not. There was nothing. No. It wasn't. It was slow. It was, I mean, basically I felt like you didn't trust your readers enough to give us a good story. So I felt like you were spoon feeding us, and this was the part that I struggled with. Like, honey, with First Light Wins, you left us in suspense. There were suspenseful moments. There were moments where we were just like, ooh, I did not see that coming. And then you get to this book and you're just like, saw that one.
Guessed it all.
Basically, almost like every chapter.
Yeah, except for that dumb last throwaway.
Yeah, that last
twist.
Part, yeah.
I hate a throwaway twist that they don't know what to
do. Well, we know why. We just kind of said that because they were like, "Oh my God, we got to tell who killed Ben." Oh my God, we forgot about poor Ben. Yeah, you've had a rosary at a service. all this?
Look,
Somebody
that
tell
guy
us.
got buried in 3 days.
Wait, and that was the bad part. It was a homicide, and they were like, "Well, you can't have a funeral until we release the body because
That guy got
3 days."
That guy got buried before the house was clean. They said, "Hurry up and get his ass in the ground."
Yeah. And then all
Probably
of a
because
sudden at the end,
the daddy knew it was something shady. He probably like, get this guy in the ground quick before they figure something else out.
and if they could cremate him, they would have. If it was some kind of evidence, yeah. So, but yeah, I just felt like she didn't trust us as readers, to just kind of like give us. She spoon fed us. And I'm like, this is no fun.
No, it's not at all. And to be honest, I love a good narration, but in my opinion, this audiobook did not help at all. It did not help. I feel like it was just as boring.
Mm-hmm. It really was. The only thing is I will say they did portray helpless women perfectly. I felt like that.
They got that down.
To a T.
Yeah.
I just felt like at one point, oh, Miss Charlotte, I don't know nothing about birthing no babies.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
Why are these women so weak? Please stop.
Okay, wait,
both of them too?
Look, so old girl, what's her face? I can't remember her name right this second.
Camille?
Aubrey.
Is it Aubrey or Audrey? One of them.
Hold on, let's see. It is Aubrey.
Aubrey, okay.
She, at the point where they found, so Hank calls her and says, hey, that thing that guy gave you, that thing that you got in the mail, it didn't really come from him, but open it and look for like a false bottom or something, he says. She does that. They find the USB and she gives it to this random ass dude that's the boyfriend of a roommate. And when that happened, I said, wait, was that her man that took it? No, it's this other guy. I said, why would you give it to him?
Why would you give it to him? Heck did Frank, where did he come from?
Right.
Again, another character.
He just stepped out of thin air like, let me help. I'm like, wait
with a laptop.
With a laptop.
With a USB-C or whatever the heck
in his car, he needs to go get the adapter. I'm like, why would you don't know that man from a hole in the wall. Why would you give that to him? Just wait until he comes back with the adapter. Why would you let him take it? I don't understand. That shit is so stupid. That makes no sense. If this is evidence that could say who killed your parents, I wouldn't let that out of my sight. I'll hold on to it. You go get the adapter. Thank you.
For one thing, where are all these freaking characters coming up out of the damn blue? He pops up. Sullivan pops up. Like, girls, like, where did Frank come from?
And
that's, it's bad when you have to rewind, huh?
The birthday party. That was the first time we saw Frank. With them was her friend. That's her friend's new boyfriend. Yeah. Like this boyfriend you just got, apparently. And y'all throwing a party for him? What the heck? That made no damn sense.
No. I don't know you that well.
I'm like, wait, but was he...
You're not getting gifts, let alone a party.
That's what made me wonder. So was he just there for a long time? Because Ben had been trying to figure this out for a long time. So was Frank with her for... How long was he with her?
He was hired by Silas. Frank was.
Mm-hmm.
So
could he have been doing this for years? Could he have been like undercover for years dating this girl? Is it possible that went back that long? I had no clue how long that he'd been dating her.
No, I don't either. But I don't think it's long because the way they're sounding with this house, it's like a little boarding house. Like people don't stay there long. Like they kind of...
She said it's a place that you would think people wouldn't stay there long. But, this happens and that happens. And before you know it, you're staying there for a long time.
Oh, yeah, that was it. Can we end this Can we end this discussion?
Yes, we are coming up on our time. Let's
Girl,
rate
you
it.
making my brain hurt.
Sorry.
Like, now I got to go back and think about all this. I don't
No,
want
you
to
don't.
think no more.
When this discussion is done, I'm done until book club. And then I'll probably have to re-listen to this conversation because my plan is to just move forward.
Yeah, because you just made me like, I'm over here like doing math and shit in my head. I'm
But
like,
we don't know.
huh?
We weren't given that information. That was another open bit of information unless I missed it.
And I'm like I said in previous conversation, there were moments where I tuned out. So it may have been discussed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well.
Oh, well.
Yeah, it wasn't that important to me anymore. I was done.
Yeah.
I had checked out a while ago, but I knew I had to finish this for our discussion.
Yeah, same. I'm telling you, between Shelf Addiction and book club, those are the only reason why I finish bad books anymore. If it's on my own time, DNF.
DNF. Yeah. Yeah, DNF.
Yeah. So let's
Mm.
go ahead. Let's rate it. I'll let you go first.
2.
Same. It only got a 2 because of the discussion. And again, I feel like on its own, it might have probably been a 1.
1. Yeah.
But we had a fun discussion. We always have fun with almost anything we read, which helps a little bit.
And I was so disappointed because I really liked Ashley's the first book we read by her. I was really looking forward to this.
And I know we're in the minority, but when you look at Goodreads, you look at the 1 and 2 stars, they are saying the same thing we did. They loved First Lie Wins, but this did not hit. It didn't do it. They're saying the same thing we said. It's boring. It's boring.
And to be honest, The Anatomy of an Alibi, I will say it's a good title because she fucking built the damn anatomy from head to toe. But as a reader, we don't need all that. We only need little bits and pieces. Leave something to our imagination.
Actually, that line, I think Hank was the one that said the line when they were questioning Camille and she says something. He like, I could have banged my head on the counter after she said that because it's all about the anatomy of the alibi. Like, why would you say that?
Yep. So,
like, okay, well, there's the title.
Exactly. Found that. But yeah. So our friend in our book club will be happy because I have a fellow book club member who loves to find the title of the book in the story. So yeah, but I mean she did. She brick by brick gave us the anatomy. And if that was her goal, good for you, Ashley. But from a reader's perspective, don't do that.
That was the least important thing about that book.
Don't do that.
Oh, dear. Okay. So I guess we're going to end it there.
Yes, please.
You've got time to join us for book club. Come and talk to us about this book while I search for my mouse that disappeared again. My mouse has been disappearing every other day. Like every half hour, if I'm on this computer, it just disappears. Oh my God.
Are you literally have a mouse or are you talking about your...
Yes, I'm like just moving my fingers around on this trackpad trying to find the mouse.
Girl. I hate using a trackpad. I hate it. But I get why you use it because it's quiet. But I hate it.
I don't know.
Because I feel like I lose it or I can't maneuver it correctly. But yeah.
Look, I got it down until the thing disappears. But that's a whole other story. So, yeah. So anyway, if you want to talk about this book with us or hear us complain about it a little bit more, join us over on the Book Club's app. We'd be happy to have you. Let us know if you've read it, if you thought something different, or if you agreed with us. Leave us comments. We'd like to hear. You know, we're open to other POVs. So let us know.
Absolutely. Because sometimes you can give us something that we totally missed.
Yeah, you could.
Your opinion.
I mean, I fell asleep and Classy zoned out, so it's totally possible.
Girl.
All right, we're done. Thanks for listening to the entire episode. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all the things. And remember, keep your TBR high and your spoilers tagged. See you in the next episode. Take care, guys. Did you enjoy today's episode? If so, please head over to Apple Podcast or Spotify and leave a positive 5-star review. It's a simple action that makes a big difference. You can also like this episode on your favorite podcast player or share it with your fellow bookworm friends on social media. Joining the Shelf Addiction Patreon family is another way to support us. For as little as $2 a month, you can help our team create even more amazing bookish content. If Patreon isn't your thing, consider becoming a supporter on the Spreaker app for just $5 a month and gain access to exclusive audio-only content. You can find me everywhere, including Instagram, X, and TikTok under the handle Shelf Addiction. Join our book club of the same name on the book club's website and app, where we discuss all things bookish and more in a safe space. The Shelf Addiction podcast is a part of the Nerdy Maven Network. Thanks for tuning in.